Alrighty, welcome to another lesson of Pro Mandarin. Alright, here's a nice little picture of me pulling in some wire up in the mountains. I was doing a little bit of 打工 for some company up there. So today we're going to get into a little bit of the uses of 打. But first you're probably looking at this thinking, can I learn all this Mandarin in one lesson? Well, let's find out. So we're going to go over some other ways of using da. This is the second lesson in our video series, but you can watch them in any order as they don't really build on each other, but they do show you the various ways of using the word da. And just a quick little note on the word da. All by itself, it means to hit or to hit something, but when you pair it up with other words or other characters, then it changes its meaning, and there's many different meanings that you can use the word da for. So with that, here are some of the words that we're going to use today. 打字, which means to type, and then we have 打游戏, which is to play games or video games, either one. And then we have 打工, which means to go work for someone, which typically is referring to physical labor like construction or something like that. And then we have 打包, which is to get a take-home bag or a to-go bag or a doggy bag. And then we have 打哈欠, which is to yawn, which hopefully you don't do that too many times when we get to that point of the lesson. And then we have 打喷嚏, which means to sneeze. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with 打. Now, on the left side of the screen, we're going to add in our pronouns over here. If you're already familiar with the pronouns in Chinese, feel free to skip ahead now. If you're not familiar with them or you'd like to get a little extra practice with them, go ahead and stick around for this part. So first we have 我, which means I or me. Then we have 你, which means you. Then we have 他, which means he or him, as well as 她, which means she or her. And then the next part we have is 们, which makes all pronouns plural, such as 我们, which means we or us, 你们, which means you guys, and 他们, which means them or they. All right, welcome back for those that skipped the pronoun section of this lesson. And then we're going to have some time frames here. 今天, which is today, 明天, tomorrow, 昨天, yesterday, and 刚 or 刚刚, which is just. And then we're going to have 要, which is wanna or gonna. And then we have 需要, which means need to. And then we have 想要, or just 想, which means would like to. Now to pair up a few different items with 打 is 字, which means characters. It could be characters in the alphabet, Chinese characters, characters as in subtitles, anything like that. But 打字 means to type. Then we have 游戏. 游戏 is a game, so 打游戏 means to play a game or to play video games. 打工, which 工 is short for 工作, which means to work. But in this case, 打工 means to work for someone, typically like maybe contract work as a laborer, physical work, that kind of a thing. Then we have 打包, whereas 包is could be a package, or it could be a steamed bun, or it could be many different things. But in this case, 打包 means to get a to-go bag or a doggy bag or something like that from a restaurant. All right, now for this next word, if you're already familiar with le, you can go ahead and skip ahead here. But for those that don't know what it means or how to use it, go ahead and stick around so you can understand a little bit more about this word. Now, le has a lot of different meanings, but for the lesson today, we're just going to use it for meaning something that's already happened. So it could have happened today, it could have happened yesterday, or just happened. But the fact is that it's something that's somewhat in the past tense, like it's been completed. So for now, just think of it that way. Instead of trying to figure out how to conjugate verbs, which is something you don't do in Chinese, we're just going to use le to help us know that something's happened. Now, anytime we use 要 or 需要 or 想要, we're not going to use it there. And to be honest, not all the time will they use it when they're pairing it up with gang or gang, but we're going to go ahead and do that today just to make sure that we emphasize that it already happened. Later on, you'll be able to figure out a little better on when to use it or when to leave it out. All right, cool. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Okay, now if we add in ma, that's the way to end a sentence. And what that does is it makes it a yes or no question. So I'm going to give you a couple examples first. Now, the first one is, would we like to play a game today? So how we would say that is, 我们今天想要打游戏吗？我们今天想要打游戏吗？ Now again, as you can see, the 要 is in parentheses, so you can leave that off and say 我们今天想打游戏吗? Kind of like you're giving a suggestion, actually. suggestion in the form of a question. And they do this a lot with xiang. All right, now in order to say, do you need to work tomorrow, as in a temporary job or some kind of day labor job or something like that, you would say, 你明天需要打工吗?你明天需要打工吗? Now, whenever I ask, how would you ask or how would you say, and then I follow it up with a phrase, what I'm going to do is give you a moment to try to work it out in your own mind how you would say that, and then try to say it out loud. Now, if you need some extra time, go ahead and pause the video to give yourself a little bit extra time to kind of work that out. All right, now how would you say, did she type yesterday? Or was she typing yesterday? 她昨天打字了吗?她昨天打字了吗? Now, on the other hand, if we said, did she need to type yesterday? In this case, we would say 需要, and then we would drop the le. Now, even though we're talking about yesterday, it's not something that was actually completed. It was more of, was it something she needed to do? So then we would say, 她昨天需要打字吗?她昨天需要打字吗? Let's do another one kind of like that. So how would you say, did they want to play games yesterday? But kind of use the would like to form of that. 他们昨天想要打游戏吗? 他们昨天想要打游戏吗? Or alternatively, 他们昨天想打游戏吗? So we just drop the 要. All right, let's do this. Okay, so along the same lines, something that's not necessarily completed. How would you say, I wanted to type just now? And again, let's try using the xiang version or the 想要 version, so to kind of soften it up a bit. 我刚刚想要打字。我刚刚想要打字. Or alternatively, you could say 我刚想打字. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next section. But before we do that, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out so I can continue to make quality content like this video. All right, now back to the lesson. Okay, instead of having those other actions, we're going to just change it up with 哈欠 and 喷嚏. 打哈欠 means to yawn, and 打喷嚏 means to sneeze. So, how would you say I need to sneeze? 我需要打喷嚏. 我需要打喷嚏. Now, how would you ask, did you yawn? 你打哈欠了吗? Now, in all honesty, to make it a little bit more natural, you probably wouldn't just say, did you yawn? You'd probably say, did you just yawn? So, how would you say that? 你刚刚打哈欠了吗? 你刚刚打哈欠了吗? Now, how would you say she wanted to sneeze just now? Or she was gonna sneeze just now? 她刚刚要打喷嚏. Okay, so it's not something that had happened, so you're not going to use the le, right? Or alternatively, you can say 她刚要打喷嚏. Now, just for clarification, how would you say she wants to sneeze or she's gonna sneeze? 她要打喷嚏. All right, for the last two examples here, somebody just 打喷嚏 just now, okay? 有人刚刚打喷嚏. So now how would you say, would they like to yawn? Probably what a few people are doing right now watching this video. Hopefully not. So how would you say that? Would they like to yawn? 他们想要打哈欠吗? 他们想要打哈欠吗? All right, now how would you say, do they need to yawn? 他们需要打哈欠吗? 他们需要打哈欠吗? Well, that's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and haven't 点赞 or 订阅 yet, please do so now. Or in other words, please like and subscribe. Also, if you like this video and you feel you need more practice, feel free to rewatch this video as many times as you need. And if you feel ready to move on, then check out the other videos on this channel as well. I promise you'll be speaking Mandarin fluently in no time. And until next time, 下次见.